Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies of my alpha family, with gentle hands. Ah, irreplaceable, a word they tossed around so carelessly, like it was a concept reserved for fairy tales and fools. But now, my dear, now they know the truth. You weren't just another face in the crowd, another name to pass by, or another moment to forget. You were the force, the heartbeat that kept everything moving, the energy that fueled the dream, the core that held everything in place. But they never saw it. They never understood it. They were blind to your worth, dismissive of your potential. And now they stand in the ruins of their own making, regretting what they couldn't see when they had you. They saw you as replaceable, just like they've done with so many before you. But they lost you forever, and there's no coming back from that. You were never meant to be disposable, never meant to be an afterthought. But they, in their arrogance, in their ignorance, failed to recognize the power in your silence, the strength in your absence. They thought that the world would keep turning without you, that they could find someone like you. They thought that you were just another cog in the machine, another piece of the puzzle that could be swapped out, forgotten, replaced. But what they failed to realize was that you were the puzzle. You were the one who made it all fit together. Without you, the machine begins to break down, the pieces begin to scatter, and the dream that they so carelessly took for granted fades into nothingness. There's a particular kind of arrogance that comes with being blind to the value of those around you, a kind of foolishness that makes you believe you can discard people like yesterday's news, that you can replace them without consequence. And so, they did it. They tossed you aside, thinking it would be easy to find someone who could fill your shoes. But what they didn't know was that no one can walk in the same shoes you wore. No one can carry the weight you carried with the same grace, the same determination, the same unwavering commitment. No one can replicate the unique blend of passion, resilience, and brilliance that you brought to the table. And now, they are faced with the cold, hard truth. You are irreplaceable. They watched you walk away, thinking it was just another temporary absence, another setback they could easily overcome. They thought that by removing you, by shutting the door on your potential, they could move forward unscathed. But the truth they are now grappling with, is that they lost more than just a person. They lost everything. They lost the essence of what made them whole, the very foundation of their success, their vision, their strength. And now, they are left to pick up the pieces, but the pieces no longer fit. They have realized too late that you weren't just another person in their life. You were the person, the one who made everything possible. And now, my friends, let me tell you something they will never understand. When they saw you as replaceable, they didn't see your worth because they couldn't. People who are blind to greatness can never see what's standing right in front of them. They thought they could take you for granted, that they could walk away from your power and not feel the consequences. But here's the thing about the world. It has a way of making people feel the weight of their actions. It has a way of showing them that the things they take for granted are the things that carry them forward. And when those things are gone, they are left stranded in the dark. And in the darkness, they will realize what they lost. They will understand, far too late, that they were never meant to have you. You see, the world does not revolve around people who treat others as disposable. It doesn't thrive on the backs of those who believe that they can simply replace the invaluable. There are forces in this world, unseen by many, that work to restore balance. And those forces, my friends, are now working in your favor. The same world that they thought they could control, that they thought they could bend to their will now turn against them. The absence of your brilliance, your strength, your light will cast a shadow so deep that they will never escape it. They will never forget the way they underestimated you, the way they discarded you, the way they saw you as replaceable. Because the truth, my friends, is that no one is truly replaceable. We are all irreplaceable in our own ways, and when we are gone, we leave a hole that cannot be filled. It is in that hole, that emptiness, that they will feel the loss. They will feel the absence of the fire that once burned so brightly, the presence of the one who gave everything without hesitation, who poured their soul into everything they did, only to be overlooked, forgotten, and cast aside. But here's the truth. You were never meant to stay in a place that didn't value you. You were never meant to remain in an environment that saw you as disposable. You were always meant for more, for something greater than the people who couldn't see your worth. They saw you as replaceable, but what they didn't realize is that you were the one who was holding it all together. You were the glue, the unseen force that kept everything from falling apart. Without you, everything crumbles. Without you, they are nothing. And now, as they sit in the rubble of their own destruction, they will wish for your return. They will wish for the very thing they took for granted, the very thing they thought they could live without. They will wish they could undo the damage, that they could somehow go back in time and see you for who you truly are. But there is no going back. Once you have walked away from someone's life, once you have shown them that you are irreplaceable, there is no turning the clock back. They cannot undo the hurt, the betrayal, the arrogance that led them to push you away. And now, they will have to live with the consequences of their actions. But here's the beauty of it all, my dear. You are free. You are free from the chains they tried to place around you. You are free from the expectations they set for you, the limitations they placed on your potential. You are free to become everything they could never see you as, to reach heights they never imagined you could reach. You are free to rise above the ashes they left behind and build something new, something greater, something that will leave them in awe. They saw you as replaceable, but they were wrong. They lost you, and they will never find anyone like you again. And that, my friends, is the price they will pay for underestimating your value. So, stand tall, my friends, stand tall, and walk with your head held high. You are irreplaceable, and the world will soon see that. It will take time for them to realize what they lost, but by then, it won't matter. By then, you will be on your way to greatness, and they will be left behind, wishing they had seen the truth when it was right in front of them. You were never just another person to be replaced. You were always the one they needed, the one they could never replace. And now, they are left to live with the emptiness of that truth. They will carry it with them, like a weight they cannot shake, a shadow that follows them everywhere they go. The truth that they once held in their hands, all the potential you brought, all the value you gave, they will now find it slipping through their fingers, fading away into the distance. And they will never fully understand it. They will never comprehend the magnitude of their mistake, the depth of the void they've created by not valuing what was standing right in front of them. They will keep searching, trying to replace what was lost, trying to fill the space where your brilliance once burned brightly. But there's a cruelty to the world's design. Sometimes, you can't replace what was lost, no matter how much you try, no matter how many efforts you pour into it. The void will never be filled. The truth is that once you are gone, once they've pushed you away or taken you for granted, there is a permanent shift. The dynamics of their world change. The rhythm they once relied on is broken. You are not just a part of their world. You are the force that made their world worth existing in the first place. And now, without you, they will be exposed to the raw, unfiltered reality of their actions. There will be no distractions, no way to avoid the truth. The truth is that they were wrong. And in their silence, in the moments when they sit alone and reflect, they will be haunted by that truth. They will replay the moments, the conversations, the decisions they made that led them to overlook you. And with each passing day, they will feel the weight of that regret grow heavier, and they will realize that no amount of time, no amount of effort can ever bring you back. Regret is a powerful thing, you see. It doesn't just fade away. It doesn't just disappear when the days pass. It festers and grows, and it finds its way into every aspect of their lives. They will feel it in their work, in their relationships, in their every waking moment. The absence of what they once had, of what they so recklessly discarded, will begin to seep into everything they do. The decisions they make, the paths they take, will be tainted by the fact that they let you go. They will walk through life with a gnawing emptiness, knowing that they were never able to replace what they lost. And that realization will be their greatest burden, because they will never be able to fix it. They will never be able to undo the damage they caused. They will be left to live with it for the rest of their lives, and no amount of success, no amount of wealth, no amount of anything will ever take that feeling away. They will try to move on. They will try to fill the space you left with someone else, with something else, but they will fail. Because people like you, those who are irreplaceable, do not leave room for replacements. No matter how hard they try, no matter how many efforts they pour into replacing you, the reality is that no one can take your place. There are no substitutes for the kind of dedication, the kind of passion, the kind of brilliance that you brought to the table. And this, my friends, is the most painful part of it all. They will have to live with the knowledge that they were the ones who allowed you to slip through their fingers. And in their hearts, in the deepest recesses of their souls, they will know that you were the one thing they truly needed, and they let you go. This is the curse of being irreplaceable. People may not recognize it at first. They may not see it until it's too late, until the damage has already been done. But once they realize, once they understand, it is too late to fix. It is too late to repair the shattered pieces. The cracks in their foundation will remain forever. They will never rebuild what they had with you, because what you gave was unique. It was one of a kind. You were not just a person in their life. You were the heartbeat of their existence. You were the one who made everything work, who made it all come together. And now that you're gone, nothing will ever be the same. And they'll look around, searching for answers, wondering where they went wrong. They'll ask themselves what they could have done differently, but the answer will always be the same. They didn't appreciate you. They didn't recognize your worth when they had you. They didn't see what they had until it was gone. And that realization will be the one thing they cannot escape from. It will follow them. It will sit heavy on their chest, a constant reminder that they let something precious slip through their fingers. They will wish for your return. They will long for the days when things were right, when everything made sense. But those days are gone, never to return. The truth is, my friends, they lost you forever. The tragedy is that many will never fully grasp what it means to be irreplaceable until it is too late. Many will live their lives unaware of the value that others bring, unaware of how their actions can leave lasting scars, deep and permanent. They will take people for granted, believing that there will always be another to fill the gap, another to take their place. But what they fail to realize is that each person is unique. Each person has something to offer that cannot be replicated, cannot be replaced. And when they lose that, when they discard it, they lose more than just a person. They lose the very essence of what made them who they are. They lose the part of themselves that they never knew was irreplaceable until it was gone. But let us not pity those who fail to see our worth. Let us not waste our energy on those who discard us without a second thought. For we are the ones who rise from the ashes of their mistakes. We are the ones who move forward, who grow stronger, who find our path in the world. While they sit in the shadows of regret, we will be out in the light, carving our own future, building our own legacy. They will always look back, wishing they had treated us better, wishing they had never let us go. But by the time they realize it, we will have long since left them behind, and we will be beyond their reach. This is the power of being irreplaceable. This is the power of knowing your worth, of standing tall even when they try to push you down, of never allowing anyone to make you feel small or insignificant. You are not just another person. You are a force, you are a light. And when they realize what they lost, they will wish they had never taken you for granted. But by then, it will be too late. You will be gone, and they will have nothing but the emptiness of their own actions to keep them company. And that, my friends, is the price they will pay for seeing you as replaceable. They will never truly understand what they lost. They will search for what was taken, trying to fill the hole you left, trying to replicate the magic you brought into their lives, but they will fail. You cannot replace something irreplaceable. You cannot recreate a person who poured their heart, their soul, their entire being into something. You cannot duplicate the exact way someone makes you feel, the unique impact they have on your life. And when they realize that, when they grasp the depth of their mistake, it will be a cold and bitter awakening. The truth will pierce through them like a shard of glass, and they will find themselves drowning in a sea of regret, a regret they will never be able to outrun, never be able to escape. The problem with seeing someone as replaceable is that it strips them of their humanity. It strips them of the very essence that makes them valuable. It treats them like a tool to be used, a resource to be consumed, without ever considering the impact they have. They did not see you as a person who gave, who loved, who sacrificed. They did not see the countless hours, the moments of dedication, the sacrifices you made for them. They did not see the fire inside you, the drive that propelled you forward, the resilience that kept you going when the world tried to tear you down. They only saw what was on the surface, the results, the outcomes, the finished product. They never saw the blood, sweat, and tears it took to create that success, to build what they took for granted. And now, they will live with the consequences of that blindness. But make no mistake, my friends, the consequences are not just limited to their feelings of regret. The consequences of seeing someone as replaceable ripple through everything they do. It affects their relationships, their work, their ability to trust. When you treat people as replaceable, you lose the ability to build genuine connections. You lose the ability to nurture relationships that are built on mutual respect, appreciation, and care. The people you push away, the people you discard, become scars on your soul, and no matter how hard you try, you can never erase them. You will always carry the weight of those decisions, and it will haunt you in the quiet moments when you're left alone with your thoughts. And when you find yourself in a place where you need someone, where you need the support of others, you will realize too late that the very people you treated as disposable are the ones who would have been there for you. But by then, it will be too late to make amends. The truth is that the world doesn't owe us anything. The world doesn't owe us the kindness, the love, or the loyalty we seek. What we give because it's who we are, not because we expect something in return. But when someone sees us as replaceable, it sends a message that our worth is based on what we can do for them, not who we are. It's a transactional view of the world, where everything is measured by utility, by how much someone can be used. And the problem with that is that it dehumanizes us. It reduces us to mere tools, to disposable commodities, to be replaced when we're no longer of use. But the world doesn't work that way. There is a power in being irreplaceable, in being someone who has something unique to offer, someone who is not easily forgotten. And when that power is recognized, it is impossible to ignore. They thought they could simply move on, that life would continue as it always had. But now, they will face a reality that is far harsher than they ever imagined. There will be a void in their lives, one that grows larger with each passing day. It will eat at them, gnaw at them, until they are left hollow inside. They will feel it in their bones, in their very soul, and they will know that the absence they feel is not just the absence of you, but the absence of everything you brought into their life. They will realize that they were never meant to discard you, that they were never meant to let you go. But once they see that, once they understand the weight of their mistake, it will be too late. There will be no second chance. There will be no do-overs. The damage is done, and the scar will remain for the rest of their lives. It's a cruel irony, isn't it? That the very thing they thought they could replace is the one thing that they can never have again. They will try to fill the emptiness with distractions, with new people, with new pursuits. But they will never find what they had with you, because what you gave was not something that could be replicated. It wasn't something that could be manufactured or replaced. It was a rare and precious gift, and they were blind to it. They took it for granted, and now they will pay the price for their short-sightedness. They will realize that no matter how many times they try to replace you, no matter how many people they bring into their lives, they will never find anyone who can match the depth of what you offered. And the tragedy of it all is that they will never truly know what they had until they lose it. And let me tell you, my friends, losing something irreplaceable is not just about the pain of missing it. It's not just about the regret or the longing. It's about the profound emptiness that fills the space where it once existed. You can't just fill that space with anything. You can't fill it with distractions, with substitutes, with shallow replacements. That hole, that void, will remain with them. And every time they try to move forward, every time they try to replace you with someone else, that hole will grow larger. They will never escape it, because the truth is that they can never replace you. And in that emptiness, in that realization, they will feel the full weight of their decision. They will know that they had something priceless, and they let it slip through their fingers. What they fail to understand is that irreplaceability is not just about being unique or valuable. It's about the way you shape the lives of those around you, the way you impact the world in ways that no one else can. It's about the depth of your presence, the strength of your character, the passion you bring to everything you do. And when that is taken away, when that is lost, it leaves a mark. It leaves a scar, not just on the people who failed to appreciate it, but on the world itself. The ripple effect of that loss extends far beyond what anyone could ever imagine, and it will change everything. They will never be able to replicate your energy, your fire, your heart. And as the days go on, they will feel the weight of that loss more and more. They will see how things fall apart, how the systems they relied on begin to crumble, how the momentum they had slows to a halt. They will understand that what they had was not something they could replace, and they will be left with nothing but the echoes of what used to be. They will look back and wish they could turn back time, wish they could undo the damage, but they can't. Because you are gone, and they will never get you back. And here's the cruelest part. They will realize that no one can truly replace the irreplaceable. No matter how many people they bring in, no matter how many efforts they put into rebuilding, it will never be the same. You were the force that held everything together, and without you, the world they built will crumble. The fact that they didn't see that before, that they didn't understand what they had in you, is the bitter pill they must swallow, and the truth will hit them harder than anything else. They will know, deep in their hearts, that they lost something that could never be regained, and the price they will pay for seeing you as replaceable is a lifetime of regret, a lifetime of knowing that they let something irreplaceable slip through their fingers. In the end, the price of seeing someone as replaceable is a heavy one. It is a cost that can never be undone, a regret that lingers forever. No matter how hard they try, no one can replace what was truly irreplaceable, and those who fail to recognize this truth are left with the painful realization that what they lost is gone for good. So, remember this: you are not disposable, and those who fail to see your worth will someday feel the weight of their actions. You are irreplaceable, and that truth, once acknowledged, becomes a force they can never escape.